The 2016 Blancpain GT Series gets underway in Misano this weekend with an unprecedented 40 cars in the Sprint Cup. Let's take a closer look at the entry list. A quarter of the field are Audi R8s, 6 of them from the Belgian Audi Club Team WRT. In car number 1 it's Frederik Vervisch and Laurens Vanthoor. Vanthoor's younger brother Dries is also racing this season. He's in the number 4 WRT car, partnered with last season's Blancpain GT Series champion Robin Freins.
Of course I will try to defend my title, but Dries is still learning. He's still really young, but he's quick. Let's hope we are really competitive, which we think we are. But winning with a field with 40 cars is going to be a bit more difficult than last year. We have the new car compared to last year, so there's still a bit of development going on. Yeah, just let's hope we are driving in the top 5 every weekend, and then we see where we end up.
M Sport have entered the Sprint Cup for the first time. Their 2 Bentleys will be driven by Maxime Soulet and Andy Soucek in the number 8 car. Northern Irishman Stephen Kane has been a Bentley boy since their return to GT racing, and he'll be joined in the number 7 car by Vincent Abril. Last year's Sprint Cup champion will be switching over to M Sport after running with HTP last season, and as a Works Bentley driver, it's a massive opportunity for the Monegasque racer.
Well, basically because I was offered a factory drive at Bentley Motorsports, so as HTP split with Bentley in the winter, it was decided I will do the full program with the M Sport squad, so I'm really happy of my situation and it's an honor. Steven is a very established GT driver now, and he's got a lot of experience, so I'm looking forward to my partnership with him, and he's fast, he's a pro, so I'm learning a lot also outside the track from all what he's doing throughout the years, so I'm looking forward to that.
There's a lot of Lamborghini Huracans in the field as well. Grasser Racing are bringing 3. In the 16 car, it's Jeroen Bleekemolen and Stefan Racina, a very quick pairing. Racina returning from retirement to enter, but he knows it's going to be a tough year.
No, I mean the aim is obviously to be up there somewhere. I think it's the goal for everyone. On the other hand, having these 40 cars and so many pilots is going to be, I think, tough. So I think you have plenty of cars actually that have a possibility to actually win the race. But I think we are one of them, and hopefully if we have luck we can be a good competitor.
Rinaldi's new Ferrari 488 isn't ready yet, so they're going to be sticking with the 458 that saw them win both races here last season. It was only accidents in early races that meant that Norbert Siedler and Marco Seefried were out of the title hunt.
We just try to stay out of trouble, and I mean speed-wise we always have been there. I think we built some more speed up during the season. At the beginning of the season, the crew was not as strong in the wheel change or in the pit stop that we have been at the end of the season. They improved a lot. I think we start this season from a higher level, so that makes us actually confident that we are good there. Now we have more than double as much participants than last year, and if you go through the list, the entry list, and you see the lineups, it's going to be really tough. I think one of the key factors will be the qualifying, to have a clear lap, because if you maybe 2 or 3 tenths quicker than somebody in front of you, to make the move on track will be really, really hard. That's why you have to really focus on the qualifying, in my point of view.
Another new GT3 car for 2016 is the BMW M6, replacing the old Z4. Rowe Racing have brought 2, one for the Dutch pairing of Nick Katzberg and Stef Dusseldorp. They'll be in the 98 car, while the 99 will be driven by defending Porsche Super Cup champion Philipp Eng, partnering with BMW factory driver Alexander Sims. Despite having one of the best pairings on the grid, it's still not going to be an easy season.
Well, yeah, it's a very competitive grid, and a lot of people that should be able to fight for race wins every weekend. A little bit difficult to judge exactly, but hopefully we'll be up the strong end over the course of the season. It's the first racing year with the M6 BMW. So yeah, first couple of weekends is going to be about finding our feet, trying to make sure we do everything right in terms of the procedures and get the car running correctly, and see where we are really. It's a bit of a fact-finding mission the first couple of races.
The Mercedes-AMG GT3 is another new car for this season. HTP have brought 3, switching back from Bentleys, and the headline act is going to be Maximilian Buch and Dominic Baumann. Buch, the Sprint Series champion from last season, he and Baumann won the GT3 European Championship in 2012 with the same team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the season because I'm driving with the new Mercedes AMG GT3. I'm driving together with Dominik Baumann after we won the European Championship in 2012. So I'm really exciting and looking forward to the first race. When you see the grid, when you see all the professional drivers, all the lineups, there's no particular car I'm having as a favorite. For me, there are at least 15 cars which can win a race or the championship, and you have to do no mistakes, and then you will see where you end up.
The RJN Nissan team are back doing the full Blancpain GT Series season this year after just doing endurance in 2015. In the 22 car, Sean Walkinshaw is returning, and he's alongside Ricardo Sanchez, the International GT Academy winner. While in car number 23, it's Alex Buncombe, another defending champion. He's partnered with Mitsunori Takaboshi, and Buncombe is excited to try and defend his Blancpain Endurance Series title from last season. But the Nissan doesn't tend to work well on the smaller circuits, so he'll have his work cut out.
I'm super excited, you know, it's obviously great to be back in the full Blancpain series, and obviously here at Misano it's a new challenge for all of us, you know, as well as the team and the drivers. You know, it's a super challenge for us all, and as ever it's mega competitive, so we've certainly got our work cut out this year.
A new McLaren team for this season are Garage 59. In the 59 car, Craig Dolby partnering Martin Plowman, whilst in the 58 lead car, Rob Bell and Alvaro Parent, two factory McLaren drivers, are going to be duking it out at the front.
The Sprint Series is super competitive this year. It's looking amazing. If you look how many cars there are, that's something crazy, and something that we're not used to in the Sprint Series. But yeah, it should be interesting, you know, with the short qualifying sessions, short practice sessions and everything. But yeah, back here with McLaren, you know, 650, it's been a good 4 years that I've been with McLaren, and I'm happy to be here, and you know, especially with Rob as my teammate for this year. It's going to be very you know, interesting, challenging, and I'm really looking forward to it, to see what we can do.
A night race in Misano is the way this 2016 Blancpain GT Series will begin. It's the Sprint Cup element. We have 5 sprint events, 5 endurance events, all in the battle for the overall Blancpain GT Series crown. And these sprint events consist of 2 one-hour races, one to sort the grid for tomorrow, and one, the main race tomorrow, where the full championship points are on offer. My name's Jack Nichols. Alongside me in the commentary box, a little bit past his bedtime, is John Watson, and we're going to be having a very entertaining race here. The track temperature is down to 12 degrees, air temperature down to 12 degrees as well. It's chilly. We've had thunderstorms throughout the day, so the track is very greasy and damp. Reports from the grid is that people aren't quite sure still whether to go onto slick tyres or to wet tyres. Here's a look at the circuit, 4.2 kilometres long, and John, it's a challenge.
It's a great little circuit, 16 corners, just coming down the main straight, then that dog leg, and then into turns 12 and 13. And of course, it's a circuit that you can use a lot of what I would call the areas that you should just not get onto. In other words, track abuse, it is tolerated, but turn 6 is the corner. We know that will be the problematic corner. If you overrun that corner, you could face a penalty, and of course that would then destroy any of the hard work that's gone in.
So let's have a look at the grid ahead of the opening race of the season. It's the qualifying race that will set the grid for tomorrow's main race. Van Thor and Parent on the first row of the grid. Row 2, we are going to see Norbert Siedler and Robin Freins. Robin Freins, the defending Blancpain GT Series champion. Piccini will start 5th with Winkelhock in 6th place in the Audi. 7th on the grid, Maximilian Buch, defending sprint champion. Felix Rosenquist, defending FIA F3 champion, is 8th on the grid. Then we've got Andy Soucek in the first of the Bentleys. Christopher Mies alongside him in the 33 WRT Audi. Franck Pereira was demoted after cutting the track on his qualifying lap. It looked as though he was going to take pole position. Christopher Hasse will start 13th for the Sainz-Lock Audi team in the car he shares with Mike Parisi. René Rast down in 16th. Watch for him carving through the order in these early stages. Bernd Schneider competing in his first full championship season since retiring from the DTM in 2008. He starts 17th on the grid. Jasmine Jafar there in 20th, won't take the start. That car broke down in qualifying and can't be fixed in time. 23rd on the grid, we have Patrick Niederhauser, the former GP3 racer. Alongside him is Edward Sandstrom in the other Sandlock Audi. Maxime Martin down in 25th place on the grid in the Boots and Ginny on BMW, just in front of Nick Katzberg. Jeroen Mull is 27th. Stephen Kane is down in 28th place. Then it's Takaboshi and Buncombe in the Nissan. Alexander Sims 30th in one of the strongest driver pairings on the grid. Craig Dolby didn't get off the line. He won't start 31st. Lucas Stoltz will be all alone on that row then. Jeroen Blekemolen will be 33rd. Sean Walkinshaw 34th. Then we have Sebastian Ash, former ADAC GT champion, 35th on the grid ahead of Jack Fowler. Then Cedric Lima and Steve Parrow completing our starters. Cedric Lima will actually start from the pit lane, and Dolby is back in the pit lane as they try and fix that McLaren.
Yes, going back into the garage, the car's getting the jacks under it, it'll be pushed back in, but let's see what happens here at the start.
The start of the 2016 Blancpain GT season, perhaps the most competitive in the history of the championship, begins now as the lights go green on the run down towards turn 1. Pole position is Vanthor. He's on the inside line. Alvaro Parent is on the outside, and he can't get through, so it's Vanthor who holds the lead. Are we all going to get through turns 1 and 2 safely as this huge grid makes its way through for the 1 hour race? We go on board then, further back in the pack, and around the outside there goes one of the WRT Audis as they get on the brakes now, down towards turn 4. It's still Vanthor who leads, still Parent in second place. It was the onboard with the Ferrari, and they've now lost a spot, I think, to the Christopher Mies Audi. Fantastic start from Mies, if that is the case, as they wind their way now through turns 5, out through turn 6. This is on board with Alex Buncombe as he comes through the left-hander of 6, trying to make up some places. Cars running wide there on the right-hand side. You can hear the cars scrabbling for grip on this damp circuit, but perfect start then for Laurens Vanthor. He holds the lead of the race. Alvaro Parent in second position, John.
Yes, it was absolutely vital for Laurens Vanthor to assert that pole position. He did so. He was on the wetter part of the racetrack, but he got good traction. Now, if he's on slicks, he must be doing something very special. I suspect that he's on a set of wet weather tyres. We will have to wait and see.
Certainly will. And here is Vanthor then making his way down. He is in that WRT Audi. Second is Alvaro Parent in the 58 McLaren from the Garage 59 team with the 650S that was replacing the Von Ryan racing team. Battles further back behind the Rinaldi Ferrari as they all stream through down towards turn 13. So difficult to pick out the cars in these headlight conditions. And there's the number 5 car getting involved. That is Marcus Pommer. But here comes our race leader, Laurens Vanthor, to complete the end of the first lap. Had a nasty accident here last season, and that put him out of the championship finale. The crash here cost him the chance to win the Blancpain GT Series title. And he's going to make amends this weekend, I think, as one of the Ferraris runs pretty wide. There are the WRT team watching on in the garage as it all gets very busy down into turn 1. Meanwhile, this is the pressure from Robin Freyns. This is the battle for second position. There's the look up the inside, and Alvaro Parent isn't quick enough to cover, but Freyns has gone in too deep, and the McLaren gets the cutback and retakes second place, and now Freyns is going to be under pressure from the Ferrari behind. 55 minutes to go. We get a pit stop window with 25 minutes gone, so between 25 and 35 minutes, you come in, change all 4 tyres and driver, and then you're back on your way again as this battle continues. And look up the inside, what a great move that was from Robin Freyns into the penultimate corner, but they're going to go 3 wide now down towards the final corner. Freyns is through to second place. Was there contact there between the McLaren and the Ferrari? Absolutely wheel-to-wheel stuff. Laurens Vanthor's disappearing off into the distance, but about 5.5 seconds further back, the fight is on for second. Parent is dropping all the way down the order now. He's behind the 333 Ferrari, so it's Freyns second, Seidler third, 4th Alvaro Parent, and 5th
Maxi Book, that's the car I'm going to say. Watch the Mercedes.
Look at this move from Robin Freyns. Penultimate corner of the track, not an overtaking opportunity really. He just goes for it.
Well, he just got better traction off the corner. That's a little bit of what I was saying with the lack. And then you got the Ferrari all over the back of the McLaren. Almost was there contact. It looked very, very close indeed. But of course, Alvaro Parent lost track position, ran very wide on the exit, gave the Ferrari the opportunity to get up alongside.
Meanwhile, this fantastic scrap, there's going to be contact in there, surely. They all got very, very close to one another. This is the 74 car of Franck Pereira leading this queue. Behind him is the 26 of Christopher Hasser. Behind him is Philippe Albuquerque in that number 3 WRT Audi. This is all over ultimately 7th position as they fan out and try and look for some space. On the outside is the 88 car. That's the Mercedes of Felix Rosenqvist being pushed out wide unceremoniously as they continue to be side by side out through turn 6 now.
Albuquerque tried to get up alongside but was in the wrong part of the racetrack for turn 6. That goes to the left, so he's had to back out of it. He's having another sniff coming down the back straight. He's trying to follow through. Yeah, he's got up on the inside. So the 74 Audi being squeezed a little bit now, running slightly further wide. Albuquerque has got that position. Good pass on the exit of turn 8.
Well, what a great battle this is between these 5 cars, and there's the late look up the inside. Is that going to work out for the Audi? Yes, it is. Good work. So that means Franck Pereira drops down behind Felipe Albuquerque, who all of a sudden is motoring his way through up the order and is up into 7th position now. That's great. Craig Dolby out into the race. It's still the Ferrari that is on the attack again, trying to go around the outside of Robin Freins. Needs to be careful here because Maximilian Buch is there to take advantage, and Buch does take advantage. Up into 3rd place in the HTP Mercedes, and Seidler, from going on the attack, has now lost a position. So it's Van Thor leading, Freins 2nd, Buch 3rd, Seidler 4th. And there's Norbert Seidler trying to go around the outside at turn 2. That'll give him the inside line for 3, but Buch's going to close the door, and the 3 of them stay in the same order, all battling over 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, the Ferrari was aggressive, but so was the shutting of the door by Maximilian Buch, who's right again on the gearbox of the Audi.
So it's Freins 2nd for WRT, 3rd is Buch for HTP, 4th is the Rinaldi Ferrari of Norbert Seidler, who's just keeping a watching eye on all of this as they swing through the left-hander. Can Buch get to the inside, coming to the final corner? Yes! Maximilian Buch up the inside into turn 16, and he's through. Up into 2nd place then. So Buch up into 2nd. 3rd now for Freins, and now the Ferrari's going to attack. Watch out for Norbert Seidler. We're going to go 3 wide almost down in towards turn 1. Can Seidler do it round the outside? Yes, he can. Gets it stopped. What a fantastic move from Norbert Seidler. So it's Buch into 2nd, Seidler into 3rd. Robin Freins drops down to 4th.
Well, Robin Freins got under. Oh, and he's coming up the inside of the Ferrari. Can he get it? He got it alongside into turn 4. So the Ferrari took the position away, looked very comfortable, and then all of a sudden the Audi is down the inside. That was an open door, and Robin Freins didn't need to be asked to go through it.
Absolutely not. So we've only got 4 minutes until the pit stop window opens. There's Renault Dufour again. So these 2 are battling in 3rd and 4th place, and then behind we've got Felix Rosenqvist coming to join the fight as well. Keep an eye out for the Acker Mercedes. Through he goes there, and he is really starting to close in on that pair. He took half a 10th out in the middle sector, a 2nd out in the 1st sector, and the Ferrari knows it and has to attack. But again, Seidler is not quite close enough to get the job done on Robin Freins. Side by side, still for 3rd place, but he's done it. Through comes the race leader, Laurence Van Thor. 2nd place, Maximilian Buch. He has to stay out for another lap. Then in 3rd position, we've got the Ferrari of Norbert Seidler. 4th is Robin Freins. 5th, and diving into the pits then, is Felix Rosenqvist, and he is going to have timed this absolutely perfectly. He's just going to get there before the line. The clock ticked to 0 as he was passing underneath our commentary booth, which is before the pit stop inline. So a new set of slicks here for Rosenqvist, and he could really, really get a good undercut on his first lap out on slick tyres. More drivers coming into the pits now.
So that was an extremely closely timed pit lane entrance for the young Swedish driver to get into the pits, do the driver change, put on a fresh set of rubber. Slick tyres. Jacko, did not pick that one up?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see what they take off them as well. That's going to be interesting.
As we see the Laurent Van Thor in, is that by coming in so early, it means when the car goes back out, assuming it's gone onto slicks, it's going to gain an initial advantage over those that have stayed out a little bit longer on the wet weather tyres. And we're now to see Laurens Van Thor, the WRT team, have probably clocked that's the strategy of the Mercedes team, and it should be sufficient there. We see that's going to be the Schneider
handing over to Baumann. Handing over to Baumann. Into the pits comes WRT. What are the tyres they've taken off?
So difficult to tell.
Yeah, can't quite make it out. But there is Buch out of the car. All the wheels attached. It's wets. They're coming off.
Okay, the slick's going on now. So the advantage initially, in my view, has gone to the Rosenqvist Vautier Mercedes. They came in at the earliest opportunity. They're going to get one lap on a set of slicks while others were on their wet weather tyres, filtering through their 10-minute pit stop window.
So this is the Nissan 23. Let's just have a look at this quickly.
Yeah, the
you're
Nissan.
right, it was Andy Suchek.
What's
my
that
goodness.
about? What's all that about? That's Stephen Kane. Or was that Andy Suchek?
It'll be Kane because Suchek's still out and
Well,
hasn't
I mean,
pitted. So
that was the 23 Nissan of Alex Buncombe suddenly getting elbowed out of the way by the Bentley.
So Andy Suchek still out there, 9.3 seconds ahead of Alexander Sims. And then behind, well, we'll wait as they come across the line here. We've got side-by-side action between the 19 Lamborghini and the number 8 Bentley.
And that is the number 8 Bentley trying to get through some of the back traffic. And Andy Suchek, who's been the quickest car on racetrack,
well, technically,
the last
this is
number
lapping.
of laps.
This is lapping, technically.
Yeah, it is, but he's sort of finding himself being wrong-footed by the Lamborghini he's trying to get past. And
oh,
of course,
they've hit each other.
If he goes off the line, he's going to be on the damper part of the track. No, he's not. He's going to make the cutback. Now he's got it done, but that's time lost.
Full course yellow
Andy Suchek
in 20
in that last lap
seconds.
lost
Full course
4 seconds.
20 seconds.
We've got a full course yellow in 20 seconds because of debris on the track, and this is going to pay beautifully into the hands of Andy Suchek. This couldn't work out better because all the cars are going to slow down. He's going to lose relatively less time in the pits. He's 45 seconds up the road from the number 1 WRT Audi. This could work out perfectly for Suchek and Sims. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to have the full course yellow because of debris on the track between 12 and 13, and you can see now the cars slowing down.
There's Suchek coming in to the pit lane. And he's coming
there goes a McLaren.
Absolutely, did it ever go? That is just spitting out bits of metal.
It's 58, it's Alvaro Parent and Rob Bell.
And that car's pulling over immediately to the left-hand side of the track there. You see full course yellow signs.
M Sport Bentley in, Andy Suchek to hand over to Maxime Soule, but normally in the pit lane, you're going slower than everyone else. Under a full course yellow, everyone else is going the same speed as them in the pit lane. We'll wait and see where they come out. It's Sims in as well.
Slicks come off the Bentley. What an inspired and courageous decision by the Bentley team. They may well have split, but I think they both actually went on to slick tyres before they got onto the grid. A big risk in doing so because they weren't sure the track would come to them, but they've worked hard on them. They've got that temperature. Once they got the temperature, then they could find the lap times, and Andy Suchek in particular has just been carving time up from the rest of the field.
So let's keep an eye out for where the number 1 car is. Is this it here? Yes, it is. So this is the number 1 car coming around, I think that's sort of turn 12, 13, 14 kind of area.
So they're making their way down onto the racetrack at 50 kilometers per hour.
The Bentley is in front then. Through the final corner they come, and look at that. The Bentley's got all sorts of traffic now up in front. This has created a very, very spread out race. It's going to have to go 3 wide here. Across the line we come then, and it is Maxime Soule as he crosses the line who leads the race here in the Blancpain Sprint Series. Second is Philippe Eng in the Row Racing BMW. That full course yellow worked absolutely perfectly for them. They started well down the grid. In third place now, miles and miles back, is Frederic Verviche. And there's Alexander Sims. He must be thinking, not quite sure how this has happened.
Oh, he knows very well how it happened. It was a brave move. They took a chance. They put a set of slicks onto the brand new BMW M6, a car that really is still work in progress. And there you can see Maxime Soule really hard on the lights to try and get these cars that are being lapped to move out of the way. He doesn't want to lose that momentum. The gap is currently 4.2 seconds as they came across the line to start lap 22. But we saw earlier in the race how easy it is to lose lap time if you get trapped behind a slower car.
16 and a half minutes to go. Out onto the start, finish straight again.
Something's happened down there on the brakes.
That's an Audi, it's the number 2 car, and that is not a good moment at all for Stuart Leonard.
That's going to be a safety car, I suspect. It looked like the car under brakes just turned sharp left.
Yeah.
That's coming down pit straight.
So now the cars will have to crawl around at full course yellow pace. It's not like a safety car, so the field won't bunch up. They may still decide to deploy a safety car, but let's have a look here. Oh, there's contact. The Nissan. And is that the 23 car, I think, of Alex Buncombe that has had that collision? Couldn't quite make out the number. Well, here we go, on board with Buncombe.
So he goes to the left, and then all of a sudden the Audi's right in the front of the Nissan. And Alex Buncombe, I'm sure, has got a very good story because he felt the car came across the front of him, and that's where the contact occurred. But it was a heavy impact in the back of the Audi, and it sent it off.
And so hopefully we will hear from the race director in a moment. Here we go.
10 seconds.
10 seconds till we get green flag racing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, green flag.
Away we go then with 11.5 minutes remaining in the Blancpain GT Series Sprint Cup race here in Misano. That's the car that's leading. Maxime Soulet is at the wheel, but that's the car that's in second place. Philippe Eng, defending Porsche Super Cup champion, is right with the BMW, and there's a spin in front.
That's the Lamborghini.
It's one of the Nissans, it is the 23 car of Alex Buncombe, I think. But now we've got nose to tail for the lead of the race, and Philippe Eng is trying to decide how to attack. M Sport Bentley against Rowe BMW out over the start-finish straight, and still this Attempto Lamborghini that doesn't want to give up the fight, even though it's not involved in the lead battle, is going to get his 2 cents as well. And keep an eye out on that Bentley with the 0-1 on the windshield. That means he's running in first place. The car behind, unsurprisingly, will have a 0-2 on the windshield, and that is Philippe Eng. Philippe Eng, 2-time Porsche Carrera Cup Germany champion, Porsche Super Cup champion last year. He was test driver with BMW Sauber back in 2008. Oh, and that's wide from the Bentley. As Andy Soucek nervously watches on. Just a couple more corners now. Through the right-hander of turn 14, through 15, and down towards 16. There's 2 cars in the way, but they are not going to cause a problem for Maxime Soulet, who is going to win the opening round of the Blancpain GT Series, the Sprint Cup qualifying race, won by Bentley. Andy Soucek and Maxime Soulet with a phenomenal performance. They started on the dry tyres, and as a result, managed to lead from 9th on the grid to win the race. Philippe Eng and Alexander Sims finish in second place in the BMW M6. And now, look at this, side by side into the final corner. Nikolai Moller-Madsen coming together with the 22 Nissan. And there's and Moller-Madsen runs wide and spins. Look at him go. That's slicks on a wet track for you, goodness me. That must be a world record of pirouettes. That's a 9.5 from me for Nikolai Moller-Madsen. So Moller-Madsen goes out onto the grass, looks as though he's kept it together, but as he gets back onto the track, the back end escapes. And that's 1, 2, 3. He starts picking up speed. 4, 5, 6. I think we've got one more in us. Yes, 6 spins for Nikolai Moller-Madsen. But here is the number 8 M Sport Bentley. Their first race in the Sprint Cup, and it's a victory. Maxime Soulet, delighted for Andy Soucek and the rest of the Bentley boys. Let's go down to John, let's hear from them.
Andy Soucek, there was real tension on your face, but what a great victory. You started on slicks, is that the secret to the win?
I think so, but we really were not sure what to do. And the initial laps of the race was a nightmare. I said to the team, look, we will need to pit and put the reins. But then it started to dry out and it became a lot better. And look where we finished. I mean, unbelievable. Max did a good job as well, and I can't believe we won that one.
Well, Andy, you say it was typical in the early laps. Look down to the left front of your car. There's about 20,000 pounds worth of damage, but doesn't matter. You won.
I don't think Bentley will matter too much about the 20,000. If we won the race, I hit the Lambo. I was a bit unfortunate.
Okay, Maxime, congratulations, but what was going on with the Lamborghini? Was it messing you about, or I mean, we were confused. What was he doing?
Yeah, I was faster, but you know, there was only one dry line, and it was very difficult to overtake without hitting him. So I waited for him to do a mistake and the traffic, and I took advantage of it, and we won. So
well done. Go and celebrate.
Here's a look at the results after 33 laps of racing around Misano. The qualifying race won by M Sport Bentley, Maxime Soulet and Andy Soucek. 3 seconds clear of the BMW M6 of Philippe Eng and Alexander Sims. Third for Vervies and Van Thor. Fourth for Frans and Van Thor, but the other Van Thor, Dries Van Thor, Lawrence's younger brother. Dominic Baumann and Maximilian Buchel think will be satisfied with 5th place at the end of that. Marco Seefried and Norbert Siedler possibly should have finished a bit higher up. Tristan Vautier and Felix Rosenquist finishing down in 8th place. Soucek and Soulet on the top step for M Sport Bentley. Now the trophies being awarded to the winners. A beautiful day here in Misano after the miserable rainy evening qualifying race. We have got a perfect spring afternoon for the 1 hour main race. The one that offers all the 25 points for the victor. It also offers 30,000 euros of prize money for the victor as well. That small little detail. It's a lovely day, 19.7 degrees. The air temperature, track temperature is 36.3 degrees. So much different conditions to yesterday, and in fact different conditions than these drivers have faced throughout the entirety of the weekend, because Friday was rained off, Saturday qualifying was pretty cold, and yesterday's race was wet. It is Soule and Eng on the front row in the Bentley and the BMW respectively. Then it's Vervish and Van Thor, two WRT Audis on row number 2. Then we've got the first of the Mercedes in the hands of Dominic Baumann and the Ferrari 458 for Marco Seefried and Norbert Siedler. Tristan Vautier will be wanting to get a good start in his ACA ASP car. Then 9th place for the first of the McLarens, Rob Bell, sharing with Alvaro Parent. Steph Dusseldorp will start in 10th place. Mike Parisi 11th, alongside Raffaele Giammaria in the number 90 Ferrari. Then we've got Enzo Eade starting 13th, alongside Will Stevens, 14th in his first main race in the Blancpain series. Nicky Meermanov 15th, alongside Michele Beretta in the first of the Grasser Racing Lamborghini Hurricanes. Watch out for Daniel Zampieri, really quick yesterday. He's going to be starting in 18th place on the grid, just in front of Moller Madsen. The number 7 Bentley down in 20th spot with Vincent Abril at the wheel. Then we've got Van Splunteren and Broniszewski in the Lamborghini and Ferrari respectively. Henkeler in the car that finished second in Pro-Am alongside Maxime Martin starting in 24th position. Jean-Luc Bobelik in the other Pro-Am car starting in 26th. They finished third in Pro-Am yesterday. Then we've got Christian Hook and Steve Parrow in the Black Pearl Ferrari. Marlon Stockinger ended up in the gravel yesterday, so as a result he starts down in 30th place just in front of Laurent Geny and Ricardo Baptista, completing the top field of the orders. Through the final corner we come then, the racing about to get underway. Pole position as we look at it is Maxime Soule. Philippe Eng alongside him, and the first main race of the season is go! Down towards the first corner, it's not the best start from the Bentley. A look up the inside, around the outside goes Philippe Eng. The Mercedes takes the lead of the race. The BMW M6 into the front for Row Racing. Everybody else very busy throughout the back of the pack, but a good start from the M6. It's into the lead of the race. Rob Bell is looking racy up the inside. It's so busy. 3 wide there as Steph Dusseldorp gets shuffled out wide, and that'll cost him a couple of positions. But we're all safely through the first couple of corners, John, and a fantastic start for Philippe Eng.
Yeah, I mean, he really got the bite off the start, and just that run down, whether it was wheel spin or whether it was just, I don't know, anticipation, but the BMW got the advantage over the Bentley in the run down into turn 1 and is able to maintain it. So we saw the Bentley and the BMW battle the latter stages of the race in last night's wetter conditions. The BMW certainly, and that somebody runs way wide.
It's the McLaren. 58 McLaren of Rob Bell running wide on the way into that corner. We're on board here with Steph Dusseldorp in the other Row Racing BMW. There's the move for second place. Up the inside, it's Frederic Vervish going past yesterday's race winner Maxime Soule, and Vervish is through into second spot then for the Belgian Audi Club, and Dries Van Thor is going to try and follow through before too long, and he's late and he hits him. Van Thor clouts the Bentley. That allows Dominic Baumann up past into third position, but Maxime Soule will be frustrated with that.
Yeah, this is the car that won the race last night. Now the chances of doing anything, getting in the points, very much restricted. Sitting there waiting for the entire field on the opening lap to get through before he can rejoin the track, and I've no doubt that incident will be seen as an avoidable incident for the young Dries Van Thor. He may have to suffer a penalty for being just maybe a little bit impatient. Let's look again and see what happened. So and it's the young Dries Van Thor. He did, I think, everything possible. It wasn't a conscious or deliberate move, but he just found himself in a situation where the Bentley was slowing more than the Audi was doing, and it didn't take a lot of contact just to rotate the Bentley.
And here is the lead of the race, battling it out. Philippe Eng, defending Porsche Super Cup champion, battling it out with Frederic Vervish in second place in the number 1 WRT Audi. Vincent Voss nearest towards us, Pierre Dieudonné with the spectacles, watching the action unfold, and they will feel they should have won this race yesterday as we go on board with Vervish again out onto the back stretch.
So V8 turbocharged engine in the Bentley and in the BMW against the V10 aspirated engine in the Audi. There's not an awful lot to pick and choose. The BMW certainly is the physically bigger car, bigger hold. It's got a punch in the air, and of course the extremely well sorted Audi of Frederic Vervish is the back end momentarily stepping out as he came through turn 13 into turn 14. So the gap pretty much constant in this final sector of the circuit. Verviche using a lot of the curb on the inside in turn 15 just to try and straight line it as much as possible. So come across the line. Last time through it was 0.6 of a second. It's probably going to be hovering around the same amount right now.
0.490. Drive-through penalty to car number 4, causing a collision.
That is race director Alan Adam then giving us the information that Dries van Thor has been given a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. This is the other BMW of Stef Dusseldorp that at the moment is running in 8th position, right up behind the ISR Audi of Frank Stippler. Stippler a bit out of shape through turn 6. Is that going to give Dusseldorp an advantage? Doesn't really. Seems as though the Audi has got a bit of an edge in straight line speed. A little dart out to the inside, and Stevens goes for it late in the day. Good move from Will Stevens. He goes through up into 8th place.
Opportunistic move by Will Stevens, and very well thought out. He's been working in that one. Saw the opportunity. Stef Dusseldorp focused on what was going on ahead and sort of ignored the Audi behind him, and all of a sudden the Audi is up alongside on the inside into turn 8 and a sweet little pass.
It's phenomenal, isn't it? Fantastic racing here in the Blancpain GT Series. The Sprint Cup races, the Ferrari one's wide. Is that the opportunity? Up the inside goes Frank Stippler, and he finally manages to get through into 6th place past Marco Seefried. Will Stevens now is right up behind the Ferrari in that WRT Audi with the green flashes. Will he try and make a move coming down into the heaven of turn 8? He's already made a move there once before. Race leaders still nose to tail. Philippe Eng ahead of Verviche. There's the move from Stevens. As soon as he did it last time, he knew what it needed to get the job done. 2 places in 2 laps for the Englishman. And there's the move for the lead of the race. And the BMW turns in. Just about keeps it in front, Philippe Eng. But Verviche is all over the back of him.
Yeah, Verviche, unlike Will Stevens, didn't get alongside the car. He was overtaking sufficiently. So Alexander Sims, well, his attention's been focused on that little manoeuvre.
But there's Dominic Baumann in the 84 HTP Mercedes. They were really happy with their pace in warm-up this morning. There's the little dart to the inside, and Philippe Eng has left it too late. They're going to make contact there, rubbing door handles as they come all the way around. Turn 4, turn 5, and look at that. The BMW is still in there. Verviche goes around the outside of 6. Was that over the excess of the track limits? We'll have to wait and see, but Baumann is pushing as well now in the 84 Mercedes. He's on the outside line on the run down, and he's got it done on the brakes. So WRT lead, HTP are in 2nd position. Goodness me, let's try and figure out what this is. It's Nicky Meyer-Melnoff being passed around the outside by Alex Buncombe. Good stuff from Buncombe in the Nissan to go past Meyer-Melnoff, and that is him up into somewhere like the top 10. It's all changed a little bit here, so I'll try and get my head around it. So the pit stop window is open then, but the battle is still on for 3rd place. Philippe Eng in the 99 BMW M6, holding on to that spot at the moment. But here's our race leader, Verviche. He stays out. Baumann in for HTP.
Good call. Good call.
Rob Bell is in as well to hand over to Alvaro Parent. Here is the pit stop for HTP. Let's see if it all goes according to plan. Still trying to strap in Max Buch, but they've done it.
So Max Buch has got a seat.
Fire it up, away he goes. That's a
and the Audi's rolling ahead. He's lost time. The Audi got in a night ahead.
We'll try and see what I think that might be an Audi that's a lot lower down the order though. It looks like
it
the
may
other
well
ISR.
be, but it's a car he's going to have to pass.
Yes.
It's a car that might slow him down initially in the early part of the lap. And every second, once you've made your pit stop, counts. Whatever you lose here or in the pit lane is time you find difficult making up. So they're catching up to the tail of the cars that came in slightly earlier. So that this for them, for WRT, is the optimum time to bring in Frederick Verviche, who took the lead of this race and has held it off in spite of a challenge from the Mercedes. And now it'll be Laurens van Thor who will be getting in behind the wheel. And Laurens will be hoping that this will be a run to the checkered flag.
Also in has come Tristan Vautier to hand over to Felix Rosenquist, and Philippe Eng has stayed out there. So this is the lap for Rosenquist that'll make all the difference in that battle over 3rd place on the final podium spot.
Good job from the ACA team. Both the right side wheels off and on, cleanly, no problems there.
Now, of course, this is their first run-in sprint, the same for Rowe. And although you have to do these pits in the Endurance Cup, the fuel is the limiting factor. Whereas here, the tyre change is the limiting factor. So that could cost them at points. Now, has the number 1... I think the number 1 Audi might have left. There's a problem for the 88 car. Is there? Away he goes finally, but that looked a little bit slow. But where the 84 car is coming down now towards turn 1. Here is the number 1 car with Laurens van Thor at the wheel. I think The WRT machine is going to come out and hold the lead of the race. One of the other cars comes with, but where's Bouk? Is he going to come into shot behind? Yes, I think that's Bouk there. The 4 car is out of this one because he's had a drive-through penalty and various other incidents. And yes, Bouk is behind.
There's the second place. Well, that was the lead. BMW now into the pits for its stop. And Alexander Sims will take over.
Yep, the final stop for them as they drop that car down from the jacks and head out onto the circuit once again. Here comes our race leader then to resume the lead of the race, Laurens Vanthoor. He's going to get out in front of that Rowe Racing BMW, but where's the Rowe car going to come out? That's going to be the question. It will be in at least 3rd place as Bouk swings past, but it's the other car we need to see of Felix Rosenqvist. That comes past the commentary box window now, so it's going to be very, very tight, I think, between Rosenqvist and the BMW. There's the BMW. Where is Rosenqvist? It's not there. So the 99 car has emerged in 3rd place. Rast and Parent have gone past Salaquada, and Parent now in that 59, Garage 59 McLaren is all over the back of René Rast. Good little battle here between some top quality racers as our race leader Bortolotti comes into the pits as he has to because the pit stop window's closing. There's Parent up the inside, contact between them, but Parent makes the move, and I think that's going to be a net 6th place once it all shuffles out. Meanwhile, this is Andy Soucek right up behind Michele Beretta, who in turn is right up behind Marcus Pommer. So what we've got in these 3 cars, oh, there's the look up the inside. Through goes Soucek, decisive stuff, and he now splits the 2 cars battling over the Silver Cup class win. And here comes
13,
Schneider
14.
through into turn at number 8, and that's 10th position now for Bernd Schneider. He's gone from 37th on the grid to 10th place in the race. Great performance from he and Jules Simkowiak in that HTP Mercedes. Meanwhile, at the front, the gap is 3.5 seconds between Vanthoor and Bouk. That seems to have moderately stabilised as they come through the final corner now. This battle for 3rd place is anything but stable. The gap was just 1/10 of a second last time they crossed the line. Alexander Sims in that 3rd place. Felix Rosenqvist desperate to try to find a way through. Here's the look from Rosenqvist down into turn 8. The BMW turns in, they hit each other, but Rosenqvist is going to make it stick, is he? The BMW of Alexander Sims will try and hang on around the outside, but he can't do it. Rosenqvist is through, up into 3rd place for the ACA Mercedes team.
Yeah, I mean, that was literally leaning on the side of the BMW, but again, the opportunity was opened up and Rosenqvist took it. He got inside, got track position, and once Alexander Sims was on the outside of the Mercedes, little he was going to be able to do to come back. And now the Mercedes has got the advantage down the straight. He ought to be able to pull away relatively easily.
Let's just have a quick look at the replay of that overtake, and we'll see what do we think here. A late move from Rosenqvist.
Yes, a late move, but you know, he's 3/4 ways alongside the BMW. There was a rub. You can see the BMW is unsettled by it. The reality of it is, it's, you know, the gap was opened up. It gave the Mercedes the chance to get sufficiently down the inside that it would be hard to say that it was the BMW's corner.
Here's the look from Schneider up the inside for 9th position. Through goes Bernd Schneider, but Mies is going to try and get the cutback. He can't do it. Schneider's through into 9th, and the next man he will try and get past is Perez Companc. And Sims is back into 3rd place. According to the timing screens, Alexander Sims is back into 3rd position. Felix Rosenqvist lost 4 seconds on the last lap. Oh, and is that Rosenqvist out? It's one of the ACA Mercedes. Yes, it is. Felix Rosenqvist out of the race after what was a stunning drive and a stunning debut in GT racing. Felix Rosenqvist is out. Laurens Vanthoor through the final corner lays to rest the demons of Misano 2015 with victory in the opening race of the 2016 Blancpain GT Series. He and Frederick Vervisch moved to the top of the championship after the first round. Great drive from the WRT guys. 2nd for Bouk and Dominic Baumann. They're right in the championship hunt. And Rowe Racing, 2nd yesterday, 3rd today for Alexander Sims and Philipp Eng. Really strong debut from the BMW M6. Rowe Racing finish in 3rd. 4th across the line is going to be Alvaro Parent in the McLaren. I think considering the weekend they've had, they'll be quite satisfied with that. Here comes Felipe Salaquada in the ISR Audi. This may be their best sprint result in the history of the ISR team. Now just wait for the Ferrari. Who's going to be through? It is going to be 6th for Seidler, and Schneider's got through. Schneider's up into 7th place. 6th across the line for Norbert Seidler and Marco Seefried. 7th from 37th on the grid for Bernd Schneider and Jules Simkowiak. Christopher Mies across the line in 8th. Perez Companc in the end, losing out and finishing in 9th place and completing the top 10. Patrick Niederhauser in the Attempto Racing Lamborghini squad. And there's the satisfaction between Vervish and Van Dor. And, well, there's John. Let's hear from our race winners.
Frederick Vervish, congratulations, you got the advantage at the start. Laurent finished it off here. That's about as perfect a day as you can have.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot say anything more. It's really the start we had in mind, and yeah, it's always good to do it. And yeah, Lawrence did a perfect job. I had a good start, and the team did a great job with the pit stop. So yeah, what can I say more? Great car, so perfect.
Getting through the traffic initially wasn't a problem?
Well, it was not easy. It was a bit hot on some occasions. It's not easy to do a clean overtake, but I think everything was quite fair between us. We touched a bit, but nothing big, let's say. So yeah, good.
Laurence, as the great singer Lou Reed would have said, what a perfect day.
Yeah, very good day. Very good day to begin a championship. As I said in the press conference at the pole after qualifying, this year is high quality, a lot of teams, a lot of good drivers. So to be able to win in this field, I think is something we can be really proud of. It was not an easy one, it's for sure, but yeah, we did it. That's all what matters, and a good start to the year.
Let's have a look at the results after 38 laps of racing here in Misano. It's the win and the championship lead for Frederick Vervish and Laurens van Thor, but Dominic Baumann and Max Boot closed the gap to just 1.6 seconds at the end of the race. A third place for Engen Sims. Bell and Parent had such an up and down weekend. They started yesterday's race second, were as low as 25th, and then managed to finish the weekend in a 4th place spot. Stippler and Salaquada finishing in 5th. Salaquada managed a 4th place last year, which is his best Blancpain Sprint Series result, so this 5th place, a good start to their season. Seefried and Seidler in 6th position. Simkowiak and Schneider coming from 37th on the grid to finish 7th in the race. Laurens van Thor and Frederick Vervish taking the victory here in Misano after a wonderful pair of races. Thank you very much for joining us over the course of the weekend. From John Watson and myself, Jack Nichols, and everyone at SRO, we urge you to join us in Monza in 2 weeks' time for the Endurance Cup, the second round of the Blancpain GT Series. Vervish and Van Thor on top.